Hi everybody, Rachel here, Treehouse Knits. How are you all doing? This is episode 49. We are going to be the big 5-0 next time. That is hard to believe. I hope you guys are doing well. I've missed seeing you all. Actually, I can't see you, but I've missed chatting with you all and getting comments below. And first off, I want to say thank you to Shannon, who explained to me the title of the cowl that I made. It's called Bonjour Hi. This was in the last episode, and I didn't understand where they got that title from. Espace Tricot in Montreal was the designer of that cowl, and she explained that that is I think kind of like a marketing thing to show that the Montreal and Quebec in general, I believe, is bilingual. So the Bonjour Hi. That makes complete sense. So thank you, Shannon, for that. And I loved hearing your comments below from the last episode. So thank you so much to those of you who write comments, who like this video, who are my subscribers. Subscribe if you have not yet. We've got some fun coming for sure. I am headed to Norway in 2 days. This is my first trip to Norway. This is a retreat that I'm going to. I'm heading there a few days early to kind of get acclimated to the time change and to see a little bit of Trondheim. Let me back up. So I will be leaving in a couple of days, flying from Grand Rapids. I live in Grand Rapids, Michigan. I will be flying into Newark, where I will be meeting up with Joyce, Paige, and Lori. The four of us will be on an airplane to Oslo. They say Oslo in Norway, but I say Oslo, but I bet when I'm in Norway, I'll start saying Oslo. Anyway, we get to Oslo the next morning and we catch a puddle jumper over to Trondheim. And that is our final sort of our final destination. We'll be there for about 3 days, touring the city, doing some shopping, seeing some sights, thanks to Patricia, who's put this wonderful itinerary all together for us. And I cannot wait to meet everyone. I'm so excited. Like I said, 15 of us, I believe. And so we'll spend a few days there, and then on Wednesday we will meet the rest of the group and we will head on over to Orkinger. I'm sure you're going to hear me say Norwegian words incorrectly for the next month or so bear with me. Maybe my new Norwegian friends will help me with the right pronunciation of these sites, but we'll be headed to Orkinger, where our manor that we will be staying at is going to host us for the retreat, where we'll be doing lots of fun things. And I'm going to be trying to share a lot with you here on Instagram. Maybe we'll do some co-lives with some of our friends that I know you know as well here on Instagram, and I can't wait to share with you the trip. So watch for that in the next couple of days. I am in full pack mode now, so got to try and figure out outfits, layers. It looks like the weather in Trondheim's a little warmer than it is here in Michigan. I think it's going to be in the 30s and 40s over there in Fahrenheit. So I think I will be fine. Okay, so that is what's happening in my world. It's all about Norway. And my family will be fine without me here. This is good, right? My 2 kids will learn to do things for themselves a little bit more, maybe. And that's the goal, right? The goal is to get them not needing me anymore the next few years. So this is why I'm going to Norway, right? To make my family not need me as much, my children, right? Yeah, right. Special thank you to my wonderful husband, who is holding down the fort and so supportive of this trip. So anyway, enough of that. You're going to see from me a lot more in the next week or so on that. So check out my Instagram. That brings me to the fact that I am Treehouse Knits on most of the socials. So especially on Instagram, where I will be posting about the trip and sharing pictures, videos, whatnot. So I'm not sure how I'll do it, but I'll be there. So Treehouse Knits on Instagram. You know, before we get going a little bit longer, I pulled this oldie but goodie out. This is my Veronika cardigan I made a few years ago with Ella, the sheep. I'll stick a picture in here. Ella is a CVM Bond Cross from a farm that's just up the road from me. Never Say Never farm. Glenda, if you're watching, I'm still wearing Dear Ella. And I love this. It's just such an effortless, check it out, the Veronika cardigan. Check it out. I'll have a link below to where you can see my project page on Ravelry for the Veronika, but yeah, loving the fact that I'm wearing Dear Ella. Let me start with some of the sales and kales that I'm doing. First off, let me tell you about the Less Waste sale. That's a sew-along. This is a year-long sew-along. I think I've talked about it before on the podcast, where every month we are being led by the wonderful Allison of Daisy Lane Designs. And month one was napkins. Now, I sew project bags. I've never sewn any garments, but I sew little things. I just find that my sewing machine is staring at me, which, there's my sewing machine. It's a baby lock. I want to sew, but I just don't know what to sew. And I know it's a big rigmarole to pull out everything, get the cutting mats out, you have to set yourself up to sew. So I really appreciate this this sew along because it's giving me project ideas. It's spoon feeding me project ideas. And as you'll see later in the podcast, it got me inspired to do some other sewing. So this January, the month of January, if you follow me on Instagram, you saw my happy birthday napkins that I made. So the project was napkins, and I had this fabric that I got from Spoonflower by mistake. And when I called to tell them I got the wrong order, they said, just throw away that fabric and we'll send you your order. And I'm not going to throw away the fabric. So I just went ahead and made some happy birthday napkins, super simple. Even though I've sewn a lot, I've never been taught by a real teacher. So it's great to hear just tips and tricks. I learned something new. It's similar to that with knitting. When you go to a knitting class, even if you already know how to brioche, you pick up different ways of doing things that might be a little better for you. So that was a lot of fun. Then for February, the whole idea is to sew items that help you make less waste in your home. So the cloth napkins replace any paper napkins that you use. The next thing were these coffee cozies. I think that's what they're called. At Starbucks, they give you your mug or your cup. It's too hot, so they had to make this sleeve thing. Well, we made our own fabric sleeves, and I couldn't be happier with mine. I used an old pair of jeans. I cut some of the material out for the inside, and the outside is just some scrap fabric I had. I stuck my label on it, and I use a button from Katrinkles that I got from Rhinebeck a couple years ago, which coincidentally is when I met Allison for the first time. So that was kind of meaningful. So that's the cozy that we made. This coming months in March, we're going to be making market bags. So it's going to be getting a little more complex as the year goes by. So that stuff inspired me. I just really felt like making some bags, and I wanted some new bags for my trip to Norway. And I had this material, I believe I got from Spoonflower maybe a couple years ago that I hadn't used. Were these, and let me show you what I've been working on. The first thing that I decided to make were just some more of my regular project bags. Look at that fabric. I love the sheep with the floral, and that pinky purple is one of my favorite colors. And I love it with that kind of mustardy yellow and green. So I made these project bags, and then the interior I lined with this cool wood grain. And I actually had enough fabric to make a couple more. So if anybody out there is interested, let me know. I sell this small size. I haven't had stuff in my shop for a while, but I sell this small size for $24. So I guess shoot me an email at treehouseknits@gmail.com if you're interested in one of these, and I'll send you a PayPal invoice. Then I had just a little bit more fabric left, and I made this kind of like a needle holder, same material on the inside, but just a flat. Now I was considering boxing the corners so it would stand up a little bit more, and I might do that, but for now I'm keeping it a flat zipped pouch. And I just put a tab on there with my tag as well. But the big thing that I made, which I'm really excited about, I haven't made this size before, and I do really like this size. So this is a first for me. I made this size bag, and what I like about it is that it's a little bit shallower. It's not so deep. Some of my bags get so deep and I lose stuff in the bottom. So I made it with a box bottom, but it's shallower and longer. So this will hold a couple of, like a bigger project, like a sweater size or a big shawl, or even a couple of my other bags can fit inside of it. I put handles at the top because I really like that. And so that is the bag that I made. So I used up all that really cute fabric. I had some leftover polka dot for the handle. I thought that went well. And I'll probably put some sort of zipper pull. But this is what I'm going to be taking to Norway for sure. And then I was playing around with that pattern a little bit more. I have this fabric. Loved it. Just kind of reminded me of Treehouse Knits, the girls in the trees, just swinging, playing, having fun. There's even a cat kind of sleeping there on a branch. And inside I lined it with this dictionary fabric that I have. And I learned some things along the way with handles. So there are some imperfections on, well, this one looks pretty good actually. But the biggest imperfection, and the reason why I would never sell this full price, is that the pattern on the inside it shows the right way on this side, but on this side it's upside down. So, you know, although if you look at it like this, it's all the same way. But I haven't decided. I made 2 of these and they both have similar problems to them, but they're so cute on the outside. So I'm not sure if I'll be selling these or not. We'll see. We'll see. But you live and learn, you know? You'll learn these things along the way. So those are the project bags that I sewed up. Remember, I do have 2 more of these if anybody's interested. treehouseknits@gmail.com. Just let me know. Otherwise, I will use them at some point. The other bag I was inspired to make, it's kind of on trend right now to make bags with the vinyl, so you can kind of see through the project. And Minki Kim is a designer that I follow, and she recently on Instagram showed her clearly Trixie pouch. And there it is, and there's her name, Minki Kim. I just thought that was so cute, and I love the fact that the vinyl goes all the way under. So I pulled just some scrap fabric that I had, bought the pattern, pulled some scrap fabric, and I added a handle to it. There's no handle in the pattern, but that's pretty easy to do. And I made myself a new little I don't know, pouch for notions. And this one actually has a double zipper. So what you can do is open it up really wide, and it just, you know, you can set it down and easily pull from it, see what's inside. I really like the clear aspect of a notions pouch because you never have a bottomless pit where it's hard to find things. So I've filled it up just for the bare necessities that I need for Norway. I still want to use it even though it's not full. I have a feeling it will get full while I'm in Norway, but this is just such a cute pouch with this plastic that goes all the way around. It had kind of, to me, an innovative design to it. I love the fact that when you cut it, everything is symmetrical. It creates a symmetrical design. And I really like the handle. I like handles on my things. So that is the Clearly Trixie pouch if you're a sewist and want to check that out by Minki Kim. There are definitely some little minor things. I had some issues putting on the binding where I had to kind of re-sew, and it got not so pretty on the top. So I'm sure the next one I do, they will just get better and better, and maybe I'll have a few out there to sell. All right. So that, I believe, is my sewing. The other, and we talked about the sale, the less waste sale. The other, this is also a sale, but it's a stitch along that I've joined in on. A few of us have a little Instagram group for this. A while ago, I saw that Modern Folk Embroidery was doing a family patchwork sampler. Here's the sampler, and I absolutely loved it. It's got so many different motifs in it with that tree of life in the middle and the house. It's got some real Scandinavian motifs in there. And I love that I can put my name and the date on the bottom, and then interspersed are initials and where you put your initials of your family members. So that's why it's called a family patchwork sampler. I believe there's going to be, is it quarterly that they come out? I'm not sure, but it's all year long. We will be getting different parts for it. This is part 1 of 12, so it is monthly. And so I'm behind 2 months, but I finally picked up my fabric. And what I love about it is it's one color. So I really wanted something tonal in nature for this in terms of the thread. And I really wanted a real neutral background. I considered doing like a dark charcoal gray background with a white floss, but then in the end I decided I wanted to go a little bit more traditional, since this is kind of more of a, I don't know, kind of more of an heirloom piece, or it could be at Goodwill, you know, dropped off at the Goodwill in 30 years, who knows, but I'm going to enjoy stitching it. And let me show you what I ended up getting. I ended up getting this for the fabric. This is a 36 count platinum Edinburgh linen, and it is yeah, it's small, but with reading glasses, I see it just fine. So 36 count. And then, oh, I hope this shows up on the camera. The fiber that I've chosen to use is a Gloriana hand-dyed silk called Pacific Blue Dark. Yeah, ooh, it's coming in. It's very tonal. Let me see if I turn it a little. I love these Gloriana silks. And because it's all one color, I don't have to buy like, you know, 15 different colors in this Gloriana. I really will only need 6 skeins of this in the end. So I think this is a great project to try using a little more of a fancy floss for. I'm so excited. So it's kind of a tealy dark blue tonal. So that's where I am with that, and I will share with you along the way how that goes. I probably won't get it started until after Norway, so probably the beginning of March. But that's the other sal that I'm working on. Stitch along, not sew along. So why don't we get into some other things that I've finished. I finished my Trondheim mitts. Here they are. There's Trondheim at the bottom. I'm so excited. I'm taking these for sure. I got to get a picture of my mittens in front of the area, which we're going to be taking a boat tour along, I believe, that river. So we will be right there and see all of those buildings on the river. And I want to show you something that I did that I ended up deciding not to fix, because it really demonstrates color dominance. And when you hold one color in one hand and one in the other, and then set down the project for a while and forget. So this mitten, I held the blue in my left, and the right I held my white, and you'll see it looks good. This one, do you see a little difference? I forgot. I picked it up and held the blue in my right hand, and you can totally see that this is where the white shows as the more dominant color, and it's only because I was holding it in my right hand. I know Arnie and Carlos say that there is no such thing as yarn dominance, but there is, because the way the floats lay on the back and push the other color forward. I don't know. I don't want to get into it, but I really truly believe that there is such a thing. You can tell I said, oh crap, I got to this part and realized, and just decided, I'm going to keep it. It's a good way of showing that the teacher in me likes that. And hey, it's handmade, right? If it were machine made, it'd be perfect. So these are my Trondheim mitts. I also finished my Gardengate. You saw the struggles that I had with it online on Instagram. If you follow me, here it is. my Gardengate with the sleeves that are way too long. It was fine. I tried it on before I blocked it. It was fine. But these sleeves blocked out so long. They just stretched in the water. And of course, you know, it has a cuff. So it's not like I can easily just cut it off and make a new cuff. It's more of I need to do some surgery for it. And I thought about doing the surgery now, but when I get back from Norway a few weeks later, my knitting guild here in Grand Rapids is hosting a retreat. It's just a day-long retreat. We do have still a few spots available. So if you are in or nearby Grand Rapids and can make it here by 9:30 in the morning, that's when we start. It's March 14th. It's a Saturday. And the morning we're talking about fixing your knitting mistakes. In the afternoon, we're talking about finishing. So the plan was she's going to do the class and then for the fixing mistakes, but we're also going to have a few of us bring in some garments that we've created already that we need help fixing. So I thought that would be a really good demonstration of how to fix a sleeve that's too long. And so the plan, I mean, what I would do is I would pick up stitches with a needle up here, determine how much shorter I wanted my sleeve, then pick up stitches here, cut out that centerpiece, and then Kitchener the two back together. But I'm going to hold off. In the spirit of learning, I'm going to hold off until March 14th. Otherwise, you know, I love the colors I picked for the sweater. I love the motif. I love that it's Gardengate. It's just, I just think it's so pretty. But the motif is so long that I have a real big underarm, if that makes any sense. So it feels more like I think it is meant to be kind of a boxy sweater, but I'm not sure that kind of sweater is for me. So it might look good with like a black dress underneath and that over it. I'm going to try that because I do have a tank dress that might work for it. We'll see. I still haven't styled it yet the way that I would feel good wearing it, if that makes sense. So that is my Gardengate sweater. You can find all the details on the yarns I used and other stuff on my Ravelry page, which the link will be down below. Okay. Oh, another fun thing. Just thought I'd show you. Our guild spent one of our meetings learning how to make Sosu's necklace. This is a chevron necklace. It's a Ravelry pattern. It's I used some funky fibers, lots of, really colorful tassel on the end. I made with a clover tassel maker, and then I made it so you can slide. And really all you do is make like a magic knot, like you make for magic knot balls, but it makes it so you can make it longer or shorter. So check it out, Sosu. That's Suzanne Summer on Ravelry, her chevron necklace. What have I been working on? I have a few Colorwork mittens that I finished one mitten and just got, what's it called? Second mitten syndrome, I guess, on it. And now I'm feeling inspired. Just going to Norway has me inspired to do Colorwork. Not that I'm going to bring these Colorwork mittens along, but these are Anne's Flowers mittens by Wenche Roald. And I had one done. I knit it with Rauma Tumi, which is a really soft version of Rauma because it's a wool and alpaca blend. Let's see if I've got a tag for you here. There it is, Tumi. And I am using these three colors. You can get the colorway names on my Ravelry page if you're interested. And I've started the second mitten, and I'm just having a lot of fun. I'm using Knit Companion on my iPhone to follow the chart. Now, when I picked this up, I had this much done on this one. I picked it up, and of course, I was reading the chart backwards and made the pink where the black is and the black where the pink is and had to rip it out. Another rookie mistake, but these are things that happen. And now I'm well on my way to getting the, what is that? The right one done. So that's a stitch marker on there. I've got a Michigan stitch marker, and then that is a dragonfly marker by Lock and Lou that Kimberly gave me a while ago. I love that one. I love Lock and Lou. So pretty. So that is something that I've been working on because I've been inspired because I'm headed to Norway. The other one that I pulled out that I haven't been working on, but I think I am going to bring it to Norway. These are my colors that I'm using. The mittens I'm making are these. They're the rose mittens from Stoke. Somebody's going to tell me how to say that. One of my new friends from Norway. I loved these. These are stunning. So I decided to make them in this colorway. And here we go. I know I put these down because they required at the time. This has been a while since I started these. I was a relatively newbie at Colorwork. I'm knitting these on, I think this is a size 2 needle. And I know I put them down because I started to knit using a little thicker yarn. Well, not really. I don't know why I'm using a size 2. Maybe I should switch. Who knows? But, oh, these are beautiful. They're beauties. So I'm going to pick them up again when I'm in Norway. I feel like they're going to feel easier to me to do. Let's hope so. And I will be using my Knit Companion this time. Last time, I used this method, but I really like using Knit Companion for Colorwork mittens, Colorwork charts. You know I love this book, right? You need to get it. If you're interested in knitting mittens from Norway, this book has some gorgeous stuff in it. And I've done a few of these mittens already. Maybe I need to do a mitten parade one of these days for you. It's been a while. Okay, so I showed you the 2 mittens that I'm going to be bringing along. And then I thought it'd be fun, you know, there's going to be moments where I want to chit-chat, not worry about looking at a chart, where I just want to mindlessly knit and stare into the eyes of my new Norwegian friends and chat with them, as well as my new retreat friends. So I have decided, when I was in Rhinebeck a couple of years ago, Paige Miller, who is Paige the Framer, who is one of my travel buddies, and probably roomie at the retreat, she said, oh, we got to go to Tidal Yarns because they have this hat kit that I want to get. And so I was like, oh, that sounds like fun, Paige. And I just kind of followed her along. And isn't that cool? And the way that it was bundled, I got a little different colorway. Let's see if I can do this. I got purples and greens and blue. Look at that, all naturally dyed, all sourced locally, the wool. And I know it looks like a mess because I have decided, you saw some of that white in there, I am going to use, this is a yarn, I'm going to use this yarn with those yarns to make it just a little bit more of a Michigan hat, meaning covering my ears and keeping me warm. This is a yarn from the Freshwater Fiber Michigan Fiber Cooperative, and it's 50/50 alpaca merino, all sourced in Michigan from, looks like, oh, I don't know, 10 maybe different farms. Let me just say the farms in Michigan. It says your yarn came from the following Michigan farms: Eagle Ledge Farm in Grand Ledge, Fredenberg Farm in Munich, Happy Goat Lucky You, Mason, Michigan, Harris Farm in South Lyon, Miller's Llama Land in Potterville, Tillers International in Scotts, Via Verde Farm in Byron Center, Vickers in Charlevoix, and Zodiac Ranch in Milford. And then Stonehenge Fiber Mill in East Jordan, Michigan processed our fiber. Freshwater fiber yarn was processed in the same exquisite manner as the famous shepherd's wool. Deb McDermott is not only a processor, she has been working with fiber and fiber animals for over 25 years. She is a shepherdess, spinner, and fiber artist. Textile, oh, no, don't need to read any more of that. But I thought this was so cool. I mean, this yarn is made of the most luxurious fiber grown in Michigan. It's 50% white alpaca, 50% merino. The animals were lovingly raised on the small farms identified in the inside of this label. Your purchase supports Michigan fiber farmers and ensures the growers receive fair market value for their raw fiber. These farmers in the Michigan Cooperative will continue the tradition of fiber production because of your support. Thank you. No, thank you. So excited. This is going to be the brim. So envision these colors with this as the brim. Well, no, these aren't the colors, but envision this hat with this as the brim, and then I'll probably end with the white on the top. And I'm not sure if I'll do that tassel. We'll see. Who knows? But this is just scrumptious. Woolly wool. These are all naturally dyed. Look at those colors. Let's see if I can hold them all. You know what? So they could have just stopped with this, but look at how just adding that blue in there. Oh, boom. Love it. So that's coming with me as more of a, I don't know, kind of like a palette cleanser slash don't need to think a lot kind of knitting pattern. Oh my gosh, yesterday or 2 days ago, I got the new knit crates for the month. I get, this month they sent me 2. Sometimes they send me 1. This month I got the sock crate, which, here's the booklet with all the patterns in it. Let's see if I can show you the pattern ideas. This particular month was procured by Glenda Winkleman, Creative Grandma. I'm not familiar with her, but I might have to go check out her YouTube channel. She selected these yarns. So for the sock crate, Audine Wool's Luxury Sock. This is the colorway Dew. Isn't that pretty? Whew. And that is the color. This is 75% merino, 15 nylon, 10 cashmere, and the cashmere makes this simply yummy. This also came with a pen. Oh, here it is. They always put some sort of goodie in. Got a knit crate pen. Now I am a real pencil snob, so I haven't written with this. Let's see if it writes nice. Ooh, it does. It writes really smooth and doesn't drag. Ooh. This pen's a lot better than I thought it would be. Okay, so the membership crate came and I got the colorway that I was hoping I would get. This is so cool, the way that this knits up. And I don't think the pictures in here do it justice, but it's like this speckled. I've got the, this is all Audine Wool's Shine Sport. It's got tencel in it. So it's 80% superwash merino, 20% tencel, and it's a sport weight. Oh, look at, they even put Creative Grandma's little logo on there. I think this was the chill out version. My mom got, I think she got the pink and orange version of this. It's a little bit more springy, but I love the way this knits up. I'm actually excited I might even try it on my loom. Let me see if I can find a picture in here that shows, here are the 3 different colorways. Okay, and then it's kind of small. Yeah, it just doesn't do it justice. When I watched the show, I mean, there it is. Let me get out of the frame here. When I watched they do a YouTube show, episode, whatever, where they announce what the colorways are. So check out the Knit Crate channel and you will find out what the colors are beforehand. And this was so cool knit up. I love the way that it looked. So, but I think this would be really cool woven. So I might do something with it woven. And then the little, not so little giveaway that came was this clay button. It's really gorgeous. It's heavy too. It's by Incomparable Buttons. They have an Etsy shop, Incomparable Buttons, giving employment to women in South Africa, handmade, fully washable buttons. That is really quite pretty. So that will go in my button drawer for future use. So if you're interested in this month's Knit Crate, check out my link below. I appreciate it so much when you use my link. It just helps pay for some of these features on my YouTube channel and just sending out shipments, that kind of thing. Thank you also to those of you who've sent me a coffee through my Ko-fi, I never know how to say that. I really appreciate that too. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful time making until the next time we meet, and we will see you on episode 50 of Treehouse Knits. Bye.